I had at my home, probably the finest man I've ever had in my home. I'm a reclusive personality. I don't have guests to my home very often, if at all. I tend to be a loner, family only, me, the dog, and whoever will put up with me in the family once or twice a year. But yeah, I actually entertained, which for me was once in 10 years. I had Colonel Allen West over and his wife and his two teenage daughters. And I got to tell you something. When you meet an extraordinary individual, as I did yesterday, you realize how incredibly blessed America is to have had Colonel Allen West. 22 years in the military. Then he comes out of the military and they try to frame him for doing his job. Remember what happened to him? They wanted to throw him in jail for 8 years like Lieutenant Behenna and Colonel Chissani. Remember what we went through here together with me backing Chissani till he was exonerated with your help? I sent the money. You sent the money. We raised the public awareness. The Thomas More Law Center did their job. And Chissani was freed of all lying charges. Well, now we have another young man rotting in Fort Leavenworth. And his name is Lieutenant Behenna. And it's funny I'm mentioning it because I stopped talking about it. But, you know, Colonel West was at my house. It's Congressman West, really, now. He won a huge upset victory, and we talked about it in great detail. Huge upset victory. He ran in a liberal area of South Florida, and the vermin here smeared him every which way to Sunday. He is a real war hero, and these rats on the left, these Democrat rats, smeared him every way they could with lies that you can't believe. But he overcame them. And he told us a lot yesterday. He's a quiet gentleman, and he has the bearing of a military officer. And his family, as I say, is wonderful. I knew the teenage daughters would like to swim, so they went swimming in the pool most of the time. And we, the adults, sat around boringly talking about everything in the universe, mainly about race in America and elections in America and politics in America. And most importantly and interestingly to me, most important to me was, how did you, an African-American man, Congressman West, win in an overwhelmingly white liberal district of South Florida? And he told me some very interesting tales from the campaign trail that are extremely important for you to hear if the conservative movement, whatever is left of it in this country, is to ever see a renaissance. And it will, because no matter what the media is saying to you, forget all of the pink shirts in the Republican Party. They always were. They always will be bought and sold by K Street. They're not the future of America. Unless the truly conservative wing of America has a phenomenal renaissance and is permitted to rise despite all of the blockage by the Republicans, we are going to have an outright communist government in this country within 10 years. Because right now we have a Leninist Marxist as president named Barack Obama. That's my opinion. And you say, well, how could you say that? Well, I wrote a best-selling book on it. Why don't you read the book before you open your big trap? Before you open your big trap, your life preserver mouth, why don't you read the evidence, moron, instead of telling me what you read in your local newspaper or saw on your television? We have a Leninist Marxist president, which is why we had a counter-revolution at the ballot box last October. You understand what I'm saying to you? And now, of course, they're being triangulated and compromised by the K Street gang in the Republican Party, the pink shirts, I call them.